Yo, what's up? Welcome inside the opening line, Friday edition. Corey and Benny. Benny, what's the deal with you? How was the evening?
It wasn't too bad. I was in a little bit of traffic, but got down to the beach in I don't know, a little under 2 hours. So definitely not bad on that thing. I wanted to tell you this yesterday. I forgot about this.
I'm
You know how
listening.
we're in summer and my kids are all home with me during the day now.
Yeah.
So every time we get ready to start a podcast, you always say, "All right, you ready to rock and roll?" So we're getting ready, and my kid's always like in the other room or like playing with his iPad or something when I do the show here. So when I said to him last night, I was like, "Oh, we're going down to the beach house." So he goes, "All right." He goes, "Come on, Daddy, we're going to the beach. You ready to rock and roll?" I was
I
like,
love
"Yep,
it.
I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go."
I love it. He's ready to rock and roll. So am I. I'm glad to see he's still alive after the scare with the big TV. The the what you call it? The GoFundMe scare.
Yeah,
Pretty impressive
I'll let
tweet,
him.
man.
He has until the first day of the season to make good, so we'll see.
All right, there you go. I'm praying for you, little man. Or else, you know what I'm saying? You may be living with Granny. Our first bit of action last night in the league, Benny. Nothing really to talk about. That under came in like I told you it would. 24 was the total. The under came in pretty easy on that one. It was a sweat on the point spread at the end. The Broncos won on the money line and they covered the number. I believe on that last drive. I didn't watch too much of it, but the first NFL bet of the year, the under comes in again in the Hall of Fame game.
So listen, I was in the car for most of it, so I didn't see a lot of the game. But it was the first game, so I had to do something. I threw in $10 on the under, and I threw in a $10 DFS lineup where I picked a bunch of the guys that we had in the article that Ryan Clifford wrote for us.
Okay.
So I didn't cash the DFS lineup, but I cashed in the over. So basically broke even on the day, just, to have a little bit of action there. Again, I'm not the biggest preseason guy. When we have a bigger, fuller slate and I have time to sit down and kind of read through the article a little more and put together some DFS lineups and some bets, maybe I will. But it is nice to have football on television again.
No doubt. Last night was not a night, you know what I'm saying, for the $100 bets, you know what I'm saying, because those are just, it's too unpredictable. You don't know who's going to be out there. But as the preseason goes on, you start to see a little bit more. On August 24th, we get our first big college game, and then after that, league picks up and stuff like that. But like you said last night, it was good to have it back on TV. So that first under comes in. Like I said, I had a little bit, you know what I'm saying, invested in it, but nothing really to speak of last night. Denver Broncos running backs, right quick, Benny. Monte Jackson with 12 carries, never heard of him before. But for the most part, we saw that Lindsey and Freeman both, for the most part, were not playing in the game.
Well, and now they just got, the rumor, and I don't know if it's official or not, but the rumor is Theo Riddick is signing with them.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Another piece of that backfield to make it even more of a headache.
Well, I mean, basically what that means to me is that anybody you saw play last night is probably either cut, they need to learn how to play special teams, or they're going to be the fourth running back in the depth chart, because you got to figure that Lindsey and Freeman are going to handle most of the groundwork. Theo Riddick's probably going to take a lot of the third down, the passing down kind of stuff from the Broncos there. So anybody you saw playing last night for the Broncos, whoever their best running back was last night is probably the guy fighting for the fourth running back spot.
Yeah, the kid Jackson, he had the 12 carries, averaged 2.2 yards a pop. The other kid, Muhammad, on 7 carries, got him 50 yards and a touchdown. I believe that was the game winner right there. But really a bunch of nobodies for real, for the most part, Benny. Like you said, adding Riddick to that makes it even more muddled. What would you do with it now that Riddick is coming to the backfield?
To be honest, to me, I wouldn't grab Theo Riddick to use. I mean, even like
I agree.
Late round, like whatever, just if he's still sitting on the board, he's probably going to be a decent PPR back option, because he is very good at catching the ball out of the backfield, but I can't see him getting a lot of carries. If anything, I think this hurts guys like Lindsey and Freeman, though, because there's already questions about how the carries were going to work out between those two guys. I mean, I was always more of a Lindsey guy, but now you're taking away passing down work from both of them. So I really think the Denver backfield or the usefulness of the Denver backfield for fantasy is going to come down to which one of those guys is getting the goal line touches. And I'm not even sure that's Lindsey this year. It could wind up being Freeman getting the goal line touches. So Lindsey does most of the running. Freeman gets goal line touches. Theo Riddick, gets the passing work. It's just become a bigger mess. So I am probably less likely to draft Philip Lindsay now, who was a guy that I actually really liked.
Yeah.
Because I think this hurts him the most.
Yeah, and I thought, Benny, that the running game for the Broncos is a place where you can find some value. The problem is it's just a shitload of people. It's a complete shit show right now. Bring him into the mix. I don't think you can pass on it all. Well, you can, but, depending on how much, rosters you're doing, stuff like that. But like this, it might be a better thing for DFS try to figure out that one Sunday who it is and then hit them like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you can catch like an injury during a year to like Freeman or Lindsey, or if one of them winds up in the doghouse because of like fumbles or something like that, I'd feel a lot more confident about rolling the other one out. In fantasy drafts, I'll say this, like Lindsey has actually already been dropping even before the Theo Riddick news to like the late fourth, early fifth rounds is where you've actually seen him still available in some of these drafts. If you can get Lindsey in like a fifth round, I don't mind that because – I mean, listen, the guy did run for 1,000 yards last year. I know he was a rookie. Yeah, I know he was a rookie and nobody expected anything out of him, but he was a league winner. He burst on the scene, was a guy that people picked up off of waivers. If you were a Le'Veon Bell owner like I was in one of my leagues, Corey, that was the guy that I blew a bunch of fab on early on, and he worked out pretty well for me for the year.
I remember I tried to do the same thing, and somebody outbid me at 393. Somebody outbid me at 470 something. I'm like, my God! But you know what? It ended up paying off for them.
Yeah, I mean, he was a starting running back for most of the season, so somebody like that is actually worth 50% of your salary. Not that you knew that's the way it was going to work out, but he definitely paid off. A lot of big fat bids.
Before we get into what went down with the rest of this contest last night, you see where Melvin Gordon has asked for a trade, right?
Yes, I did. And the day this happened, I told people, go get Austin Eckler because I have a feeling that this is going to be a Le'Veon Bell situation, and it looks like that might be the way it goes. Here's the question I have for you, though, because I've seen a lot of people talking about this and writing about this. Who would trade for him? Where would he go?
They want to be able to find their own deal, so they have a preferred destination. The problem is, preferred destination or not, the Chargers organization said that they're not no way in hell they're going to let him work his own deal. If they do a deal, it'll be on their terms. Mm-hmm. Obvious to me, the glaring weakness for a team is Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need a running back. That's the case. But do they want to do that? Because whoever signs him right now, you're getting a rental. Well, you're going to pay up and re-up him or you're getting a rental because he's only under contract for one more year. So you're right. I think whoever they trade him to has to be willing to –
they don't have to do an extension up front.
Yeah, put him on a long-term deal. And I don't know, man. I mean, the way teams are being built right now, putting a running back on a long-term deal, especially one that already has some injury issues – doesn't seem like the way I want to build my team either. So good luck with that.
What about Baltimore?
I mean, didn't they just go get Mark Ingram?
Yeah, true. Because you figure Benny's got to be a team with a quarterback on a rookie deal. It's a ton of them in Buffalo already.
I could see Buffalo.
It's already a ton of them there, though.
Yeah, but they all suck.
That's true too.
It's not like any of those guys are the future of the team. So.
When you look at the quarterbacks on the rookie deals, that won't be the Chiefs.
He's not going to the Jets.
The Texans.
Ooh, that's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting.
I was saying that's what I would aim to get to, but obviously the Chargers are not going to do that.
The problem I have with the Texans, though, is there's a lot of guys that they need to pay. Yeah. They have a lot of young guys. You got Watson. You look at those wide receivers on the outside. You look at some of the guys in the defense that are second or third year guys. There's a lot of guys coming up for the Texans that are going to want to get paid. And I don't know if you want to lock up. I'd rather have some of those guys stay in-house than use that big chunk of money to lock up a Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. And I think it would have to be an NFC team. You got to figure. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean a difference, but I don't see where it's at. To be honest with you.
I mean, that's the thing. They were talking about it yesterday on TV, and a lot of people have written articles about it. Like, Miami is a team that's been getting thrown around, and the more I look at it, though, I don't see a fit. Put it this way: you know what Melvin Gordon wants. He's sitting out because he wants a long-term deal that's worth a lot of money, like Todd Gurley got. I don't think anybody's willing to give him one of those. So not only do you have to make the Chargers happy with the number of draft picks and compensation and whatever you're giving back to them, but you also have to get a contract that he'll be happy with. And I don't think it's a good idea to offer him the kind of money that he wants. And I don't think San Diego does either, which is why they're not doing it,
Yep. Latest out of Dallas is Jerry Jones was asked, are you worried about getting a deal done in time for the season start? Jerry Jones' reply was, have I ever not got a deal done? So apparently they're pretty confident and pretty optimistic. Zeke's team got the latest offer, and it appears that it is an offer that is worthwhile. It's just a matter of, getting the fine print done and getting them up there. The latest offer from the Cowboys, it seems like the two sides, Benny, are pretty close together.
Yeah, well, this is what we talked about earlier, right? Like we said, when you're doing your drafts, Melvin Gordon's a question mark. The Zeke deal will get done. Michael Thomas deal will get done. Last week, the Michael Thomas deal got done. I have a feeling the Zeke one gets done here. As you saw last night in that game, it's not like starters are out there playing at this time of year anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So really, Zeke's not missing anything. He's not missing any significant time. He's
in Cabo running in sand. Did you see that?
What happened?
He's in Cabo running in sand.
The running in sand is the best thing for your legs, so that's actually really good for him. I will say this, though, is the other thing, too. Running backs, to me, are the easiest ones to hold out and to just go right back in. Because if you played football from the time you were in Pop Warner until the time you get into the NFL, the holes are the same. The footwork is the same. You could either take the ball and run fast and break tackles, or you can't. When it comes down to X's and O's, though, like, to me, being a running back is one of the easiest things. The hardest thing for a running back to pick up is pass protection. But when you come to running, and like I said, you've been running through those same holes, running those same plays, just different names for it since you were 7 years old when you were a running back. So running backs to me are the ones that I don't mind the holdouts for because they can get back up to speed quicker than anybody else.
Yeah, and that's no problem with Zeke. Zeke's excellent in pass protection. Zeke also is a fat boy. He's one of those type of dudes that play himself into shape. So the first 2 or 3 weeks may not look like himself, but you might bet the under on his props. But trust me, by the end of the season, it'll be the NFL's leading rusher. So that's how that one goes. Going back to some of the action from last night, we didn't really get to see none of the targets or any playing time for the wide receivers and things that we talk about. But Noah Fant, the rookie, did get 3 targets. He had 1 catch for 7 yards.
Yeah, there's a lot of people drafting him, taking him like he's going to have a big season this year. I don't know. I mean, we talk about it all the time with rookie tight ends. Like, rookie tight ends don't usually hit.
They really do.
Yeah, it usually takes them a couple years to figure stuff out and get used to the physicality and the speed of the game in the NFL. So I'm not interested in any of them. There's the other guy, too. What's his name? TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, like, I don't want any pieces of these rookie tight ends this year.
I mean, $1 make you holler on the back of the bench. That's about the best you can do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're getting them for $1 in an auction draft, or you're picking them up in like round 17, round 18 of a fantasy draft, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to count on these guys.
As far as the rest of this situation goes, nothing really to see here. The kid Muhammad did make a difference in the passing and receiving game, so that's good for him. Maybe he gets a shot somewhere else, or maybe he sticks with the team right here. When you look over the other side of the field, Benny, the Falcons, Matt Schaub is still in the NFL, son.
Matt Schaub is their official backup quarterback, right?
Yeah.
How much did he play last night?
Last night, Schaub, he had they don't have his snaps out here. I know he wasn't in the game for long, though. He threw 14 passes for 10 yards.
All right, so he probably played like maybe a quarter.
If that.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You know what? He's not a bad backup quarterback. He's at least been in the situations before, and you can throw him out there. If you need him to win you – here's the way I'll say it.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, like if Ryan gets hurt for 8 games,
It's over.
it's done. Matt Schaub's not going to be the guy. But if Ryan gets hurt for a game or 2 games or
Like
something,
a quarter.
you could, or a quarter, like you could squeeze a 1-1 record out of 2 Matt Schaub starts. It probably wouldn't be him being the reason you won. Like he's not going to throw for 350 and 3, but he's serviceable enough to keep you in those games if your defense and your running game can win it for you.
You remember when like the final days in Houston, he was so terrible. Do you remember the fans came to his house? Remember that?
No, I don't remember that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, son, he was so terrible those last couple months in Houston. He was pitiful. It was pick six after pick six.
Yep. But see, like that part I remember. I don't remember the fans coming to his house though.
Yeah, there's like a group of fans like marched to his house. Like it was wild.
Oh man, that's funny. Some people take football a little too serious, you know. Like,
you got to think they was going to run about the town, buddy. That's Houston. You know, football is serious business there.
That's nuts, man. Like, I'm a big Jets fan. I've been a Jets fan my entire life.
Don't go to the quarterback house.
No, I was not about to go to Mark Sanchez's apartment and be like, "Yo, you suck. Get out of here." You know.
I know he'd be like, "What's going on? Who is this?"
Yeah. He'd be like, "Hold on, because I got 4 beautiful women in here. I don't give a shit what you're doing outside." And I'll be like,
I got a story. I remember a story of a young lady who went to Mark Sanchez's domain and just like recorded the whole thing. And everybody's like, well, what? Don't, you know what I'm saying? You're running off on the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a smart way to go about it. Falcons running game last night, Benny, the kid Ito Smith stinks.
He does. I've been saying this to people for a really long time.
Yeah.
He's got speed. He'll be fine if you get him outside.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, he's not a very good running back. Put it this way. If a guy has that kind of speed and he can't get on the field, it's usually because he doesn't do anything well other than run fast.
Yeah.
And there's more to being an NFL running back than just running fast. All these guys run fast. So you also got to be able to cut. You got to be able to know the holes. You got to be able to read it. He doesn't have any of that. He's just a speedster.
Oh, yeah. The young man, Quadri Allison, he carried it for 6 times for 2 yards. Smith carried it 3 times for 6 yards. But Smith just looks like a terrible back. Doesn't hit holes well. Kenyon Barner got some action. One dude, Brian Hill, had 11 carries for 57 yards. Maybe that's a name will emerge in the search for Devontae Freeman's backup.
So, I mean, you got all excited about Matt Schaub still being in the NBA. How about Barner in the NBA, in the NFL? How about Barner still being in the NFL? I feel like this guy's been on 10 different teams in the last 10 years.
I know he's been on Carolina. Who else has he played for?
Played for the Eagles.
Oh, he damn sure did. Yep.
I think he also played for either the Redskins or Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he's been at it for a while.
I feel like, you know what it is? I'm trying to remember, like, Madden. Like, I feel like I see his name in Madden as, like, a 3rd or 4th guy on somebody's depth chart all the damn time.
He's a body that's been around. That's about it. Carolina, Philadelphia, New England.
Oh, New England. Okay, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he's still in the league, too. How old is he?
Kenyon Barner is 30 years old.
Okay. Not that old, but yeah, I remember him from the Eagles years because I got a lot of friends that are Eagles fans, and he was always down there.
30 years for running backs.
You know, you would have probably you probably would have gotten more information about fantasy football or spent a better 2 hours of your time getting ready for a fantasy football draft by
doing one. Yeah.
Yeah, by going to like Guru and reading our draft guide, or by actually doing a fantasy football draft than you did by watching this game last night, because none of these guys are going to play significant roles on any of these teams once the season rolls around, and that's the issue.
Yeah, no doubt. Then you didn't get to see not one snap, huh, Benny?
What happened?
You didn't see not one snap, huh?
I was in the car. We left around the time the game started to drive down here. I saw basically the highlights on ESPN, and that was it.
It was just good to have it back on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, don't get me wrong. I love football. You know me. I'm going to watch every single game once the season starts. But preseason week 1, I have no desire. Preseason week 2, I'll catch the beginning of the game because the starters will probably play a series, maybe a whole quarter, depending on the coaching. Preseason game 3, that's the one I really want to see, because then you're going to see the first unit offense out there, at least for the first quarter, most of the time for the first half. You'll be able to see who they're starting. You'll be able to see what personnel groupings they're running, what guys that, you may not have thought of that are the third wide receiver there or the second tight end who's been getting on the field a lot. Those are kind of things that can help you for fantasy. Watching week one isn't going to help you unless you're in the deepest league where there are 30 owners and you got 50 guys on your bench and you're basically using every player in the NFL.
Pat Bowlen is some people be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Broncos owner Pat Bowlen is going in. Benny, longtime owner of the Broncos who just passed away in June. Gil Brandt is a part of the 2019 class. Brandt is dude that built the Dallas Cowboys in the 70s. He also is the big Daniel Jones supporter.
Is he?
Yeah, the Giants got a 90-year-old man doing their capping. Gil Brandt, let me not say that.
That's, you know what? It doesn't surprise me with the Giants. It really doesn't.
He looked like he got dug out the grave. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh God, I hate to say that, Benny.
It is what it is. Some people should retire. Let the young guys have a shot. Let the people who know how to use a computer and analytics get a chance.
No, it was and the thing about it is I saw some brief clips of an interview. He was talking about how analytics has been a good part of the upbringing and the comeuppance of the game. Ty Law, as a Jet fan,
love Ty Law. He was a Patriot for a while, and I did not love Ty Law. Then he became a Jet at the end of his career, so I like Ty Law.
We got Tony Gonzalez, probably the best tight end ever played the game.
Definitely deserves it. Absolutely deserves to be in there. Tony Gonzalez, for those of you youngins who don't know, Tony Gonzalez was the Travis Kelce of the 90s.
Yeah, no doubt. Jason Witten to be the best tight end ever played the game when it's all said.
Jason Witten was the Zach Ertz of the 90s, bro. Come on.
Stop it. Kevin Mawai, long-time NFL. He played for the Jets, right?
Kevin Mawai, he was with the Jets, and then he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go. Obviously, Champ Bailey.
You can't argue. Champ Bailey was a stud. Speaking of Jet centers, the Jets made a really good pickup yesterday.
Who's that?
We saw that. They got the center who used to be with the Carolina Panthers, yes. Khalil.
Ryan Khalil.
Yeah, this is an all-pro guy who was 3 or 4-time Pro Bowler, and the Jets needed a center. So now you take a guy that has been around the league and has some upside and, who's done –
I'm still not on the roster.
What happened?
Was he not on the roster? I kind of missed that.
Yeah, he retired. Well, He quote-unquote retired. They apparently talked him out of retirement, which is awesome because they really needed a center, and the ones that they had from everything people were saying at practice was not looking too great. So that was the missing – I'm not going to say the missing piece, but the weak link of the offensive line was the center, and now you turned your weak link into arguably one of your strengths. So that's pretty good. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, no doubt. Champ Bailey goes in this class also, Benny. The thing about Champ, show you how much the NFL has changed. Do you remember who Champ Bailey was traded to Denver for?
Was it a running back, wide receiver? I forget.
He was traded for Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis, there you go. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you had a Hall of Fame cornerback traded for a running back that had never happened in today's league.
Yeah. No, you really wouldn't. Like Melvin Gordon is not bringing back, a stud cornerback right now when they trade him.
No. Don't get me wrong, Clinton Portis had his day too, but that, the concussions ruined him quickly. That game was over now. And then, of course, I believe the highlight of the show, probably be the final speaker, is the great Ed Reed.
Oh, it's my boy. Again, another guy who came over and played a little bit for the Jets. Won a Super Bowl.
Years.
Yeah, made his name, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. That was such a nasty defense. Him and Ray Lewis. Him in the back, Ray Lewis in the middle, and then all the boys around them. Such a nasty defense.
Have you ever seen the time that's when he was in University of Miami? He more or less tore his shoulder off the bone, and he gave the halftime speech in the tunnel.
No,
it'll make you run through a brick wall, Benny. Serious business right there. So there you go. Like I said, what else do we got? So this weekend coming up, Benny. Any drafts? Anything going on for you?
I'm probably going to do a couple more of those, the ones over on Play Draft. I'll probably get over there and get into some of those best balls again this weekend. There's MMA tomorrow night, so make sure you check out Mad Lab's article, get in on the MMA. I don't know if it's a big one like last I think this is Newark this week, actually.
Oh, for real?
I think this is UFC Newark. 'Cause I think my brother's going to be there. He was trying to get me to go with him, and I got the in-laws and everybody coming down to the house this weekend, so I had to kind of be here with the wife to help out. But yeah, I think the UFC is actually in Newark this week. Mad Lab may actually be there too. Actually, now I doubt it. They go over and they just party at Tommy's house, so they'll probably still be at Tommy's house. But check out his article for that on Saturday. I think we have Premier League soccer. I think starts this week too.
Boy, Duke could take care of that.
Yeah, and shout out to Duke. I don't know if you saw the announcement yesterday, but him and his wife are expecting too. So everybody in the Mafia is having babies right now, Corey. I don't know, man. I'm not having any more. I'm done with that.
I was about to say, guess who won't be? You can leave me out of that. Leave me off that email thread right there. But shout out to Duke. Shout out to Vlad and the rest of the homies who are entering fatherhood for the first time.
I told them they better get the insurance on their televisions now. Go ahead and jump the gun on that one.
Did you see yesterday where David Griffin talked about how joyless it was winning the NBA championship in 2016 with the Cavaliers because of the scrutiny brought on by LeBron James?
I did, man. That's but not for nothing. We've heard this from a lot of front office executives and coaches that have been around when he was around. Like when LeBron was there, the only place it didn't happen, I don't know, you tell me if you think the same thing. The only place where there was nothing behind the scenes that was an issue was in Miami.
Well, Miami had Pat Riley.
And that's it. Between Pat Riley and Spoelstra, they were like, no, that shit's not going to happen. And the thing is, though, it was really Pat Riley, like you said, because Spoelstra was like a young guy at that point in time. Like he was like
they was getting ready to run him, Benny. Remember he used to walk past him. He would walk past him. He wouldn't speak to him when he first got there.
I got to be honest. I mean, LeBron James has done a really good job, just like Michael Jordan did, of promoting his brand and like all this stuff. But when you kind of look at it, like, you hear the stories about Jordan after the fact, you're going to hear the same stories a couple of years from now about LeBron, that he's just kind of a dick.
Like, difficult to deal with in front office and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, it's like people can have problems one place or another place, and maybe it's a clash of personalities, and you can be like, all right, whatever. But when it happens everywhere you go, you're a dick. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I always said it. It's like, like two people can not get along.
Everybody can't be lying.
But if everybody hates you and everybody has a problem with you, and those things were completely unrelated to, complete different situations, there's a good chance you're a dick. And that's kind of the way I'm starting to feel about LeBron.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, my boy LBJ, but I can see where situations can be tough. Joyless championships, kind of like the Yankees in the 90s. It's like, the winning takes the pressure off you more than gives you joy.
See, the thing is, when you win, everybody expects you to do it again the next year, So it's the first one is always the best because nobody expects you to be there and you haven't been there and you're getting over the hump. But once you get over that hump for the first time, it's a lot of work to get back over that hump when you got a bullseye on your back and everybody wants to, wants to take you down.
All right, well, we got MLB going into the weekend, Benny.
Yeah, a couple things I'm looking at here today. I hate to do this as a Yankees fan, but I actually like the Sox to beat the Yankees tonight.
That's been the trend the past couple. Where's they in New York or Boston this weekend?
They're in New York tonight. It's Eduardo Rodriguez against James Paxton, and I just
Maple.
Yeah, I trust Eduardo Rodriguez a little more than I trust Paxton right now. He doesn't look like the James Paxton that I thought the Yankees were getting when they traded for him. Let me say that. My best bet of the day, the one I have the most money on right now and a lot of parlays that it's a piece of, Robbie Ray and the Arizona Diamondbacks against Joe Ross and the Nationals.
Okay.
Joe Ross is a solid pitcher, but he's a guy that's been out for most of the season. Made his debut the last time he went out there, went 4 innings, got knocked around. Joe Ross has very severe splits. So if there's any left-handed bats in the lineup, left-handed bats against Joe Ross just absolutely kill him. But he is very tough on the right-handed bats. That being said, Robbie Ray is a very good pitcher, and he has been a very good pitcher. Minus 140 on Robbie Ray just kind of felt like a steal because all the other games that I really liked, you're looking at like minus 190 to minus 270. Like I like the Dodgers to beat the Padres, but they're like a minus 250. Houston to beat Seattle, like a minus 190. Minnesota KC, minus 190. Texas over Detroit, minus 250. Philly over the White Sox, minus 250. The Philadelphia-Chicago White Sox game is an interesting one. We could get a bunch of home runs in that game. It's Ivan Nova against Jason Vargas.
Mm-hmm.
So two guys that, in my opinion, are very overrated, and it's in a good hitting ballpark. So that's another one that I wouldn't be. I didn't want to take the over-under because it was 9.5, but I'm probably going to look for a home run prop there because you could definitely go yard off either one of those guys.
All right, cool. So there you go. You said that Philly San Fran, right?
No, isn't it Philly, Chicago White Sox?
Yeah, Phillies White Sox.
Yeah.
They had put some runs up last night too, just like you had said they would. But I think our boys that we were looking for just missed. I think Hernandez homered and somebody else hit the home.
Yeah, it was Hernandez and Real Muto.
Real Muto.
Yeah, it was a righty and a switch hitting leadoff hitter. So we got some home runs there, but we didn't get the ones we wanted. So like today, the White Sox against Ivan Nova, you want lefties. So it would probably be the same guys, like a Harper or a Halsley there. Against Jason Vargas for the White Sox, you want righties. Man, there's not a lot there. Maybe Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu is probably the bat you would want to be on that side.
Yeah, no doubt. What do we got? Big piece of chicken wise before we get out of here for the weekend.
Well, I'm giving mine to Duke. He's going to be a father for the first time. That'll be the third Mafia baby behind Vlad and Kenneth in the last couple months around here. So I don't know when his wife's due. I think he said somewhere around like January, February. But big shout out to him. And as DC said yesterday on the thread, congratulations on the sex.
He was successful in that matter right there. I'm gonna give mine to Ed Reed as he gets ready for his big weekend entering NFL Hall of Fame. Always been in the shadows of Ray Lewis, but this time he gets to shine to himself. So big piece of chicken to my main man Ed Reed. For my main man Benny is Corey Parson, fantasy executive. We are out.